In this video, we're going to have a quick look at the lens correction panel in the develop module of Lightroom. I'm going to choose my image, highlight it in white, and I click across to develop. Now, this image is untouched as it came out of the camera, so we're going to go down to the lens corrections panel, open that, and that's your default view. Now, before we click enable profile corrections, you need to know that whatever lens you are shooting with affects the look and feel of your image. Depending on how wide or how much of a zoom you have, there's a certain amount of distortion and vignetting that will take place. What Lightroom have done is they've created make, model and profile of a vast range of lenses, and for us it's as simple now as clicking enable profile correction, watch the image, boom, there's a small bit of change happening. You can see the outsides get brighter and there's a bit of distortion that gets taken away as well. So it's already picked up Nikon AFS Nikkor 600mm lens and has therefore applied the correct amount of vignetting and distortion to that image. You'll see at the bottom under this, now once I've done that, that's as far as you normally will need to go. You can now go and take from 100% applied, you can do less or more. You see there's a little bit of distortion that we can now apply to that image. In the same way, the vignetting, darker and lighter, you can keep on going on top of what Lightroom gives you already. Now, color also allows you, depending on how the glass elements in the lens is put together, there's a certain amount of defringing you can do on purples, amounts and greens. Yeah? So you can go and play with those. This image is not the great example. If you have something with very straight lines and a lot of color differences on the side, you can go and change it over here. On manual, this now allows you, it overrides the profile, and you can now change the distortion, vertical and horizontal layout, rotation, and the scale or size of the image. For example, distortion will give you that or that. So you're now looking at distorting it either way as much as you wish. Vertical will give you a rotation around the vertical. Horizontal will do the same from a horizontal point of view. Rotation, what it says, side to side, and scale, larger and smaller. Let's reset all of those. If we're looking at distortion, for example, and you do this, you'll see the gray areas on the outside are the ones that are now not affected. If you save your image as is, it'll look just like that. So what you need to do then is hit the constraint crop button over there, and it'll make sure that however much distortion you apply to that image, it always crops it in. Where you will use this most of the time, if you have architecture shots or landscape shots with a very wide lens, you might need to affect or correct the distortion and the vertical lines so you don't have converging lines on a building. Those are worth playing around when you have architecture and landscape shots. Back to normal, that is my automatic profile for my lens correction. I always start with this as a first step. I simply hit the enable lens correction and I leave it there, and I will then carry on with my basic processing to make sure that I get as realistic an image as possible.